family, or other die-hard fans. The more you call it, the more points you can achieve. Also, be a loyal fan and earn loyalty rewards. Don't miss the hottest app of the year, Fire Fan. Ignite your passion. Yeah! Yes, sir. Yeah. Register now at firefan.com today. Enter player rewards code TDSS. That's player rewards TDSS. Play the game, fan the fire, earn rewards. It's hour number 2 of the Doug Stewart Show, baby. Let's go on a Monday. Whoa! It is hour number 2 of the Doug Stewart Show. Man Talk Monday. And thank you for joining your boy. I really do appreciate it. We're brought to you by firefan.com. Go to firefan.com and use promo code TDSS. Once again, that's firefan.com. Use promo code TDSS and get down with the Doug Stewart Show League on firefan.com. Today is Monday. What's today's date? We're going to get some entertainment here in about 15 minutes. Today's date is November 14th. And it's taken me this amount of time, man, from last Tuesday to get over this Donald Trump crap. Yeah, Donald Trump appoints Steve Bannon as chief strategist and senior counselor. Evidently, from what I hear and what I read about, this cat is a straight neo-Nazi, Ku Klux Klan racist. Yeah, Trump. So, yeah, I'm moving on, but that's not a good sign from Donald Trump, man. And I see everybody on social media, and we're going to get back to the sports here in a second. I see everybody on social media saying, well, not everybody, a lot of people. There's a couple of people out there, selected few, on how we should just, move on and accept Donald Trump. He's our president. Huh? To quote the great Sagat, funk that. Yes, funk that. Now listen, the man is the president. We're going to see, but he's already started out in the negative by this new appointment. He actually appointed 2 new people to his cabinet. What's the guy's name? Steve Bannon. And he also appointed, who was the other guy's name? And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. I can't find the guy's name right now. But he made 2 appointments to his cabinet this past weekend. And it's not starting off good already. Yeah, it just doesn't. And we'll see, man. I mean, there's nothing we can do at this point. It's just move on and just pray. That's all we can do. But it's crazy how... It's crazy how now everybody in America and all of the Donald Trump supporters and the Republicans or whatever want us to move on and just embrace, Donald Trump. It's not that easy. It's just not. First of all, America didn't embrace, President Obama for 8 years. It's crazy how Obama got the votes, the popular, vote, and, people across America love Obama. His 8 years, we're actually going to miss him. But then they fought that man, and when I say they, I'm talking about government. They fought that man tooth and nail on every little thing. Nobody wanted to just move on, And now the whole theme is let's just move on. Let's accept them. It's hard to just accept a bigoted idiot. It is. I'm sorry. From Sidney Jackson, Donald Trump can eat a penis. Exactly. And I'm reading from the chat room on Spreaker.com. And he didn't use penis. He used the street vernacular. From Uncle Mike, move on. The same way they moved on when Obama got elected. Yeah, right. Exactly. I mean, it's crazy. Like, are y'all insane? Are the people out there saying, let's just move on and accept the fact that America nominated, not America, the Electoral College, because the popular vote didn't. Are y'all insane? Just move on from a bigoted, idiot, buffoon, unqualified man? I mean, Donald Trump, we're supposed to just like take it and just like move on? It ain't that simple. From Miss Mocha Bella, move on, Doug. No Trump talk. Just a little bit. We gonna move on. From the 47 problem, I'm with Dave Chappelle. Let's not be surprised. Start stacking your money and follow the lead of these wealthy elitists. Let's abandon the Democratic Party. Start looking at ways to get some of this conservative money. I hear you, 47 problem. But what about us just surviving and not getting, into World War III? What about this man having the nuclear codes? What about everyday life? What about health care? What about things that would be normal and easy for most qualified people running that position, and the decisions that are going to be made? I mean, it's just not that simple. Just to let's move on, or let's try to take advantage, like Dave Chappelle said. He said he's going to take advantage of some of these tax breaks that are coming his way for the wealthy. It's just not that simple, bruh. From Andre Elam, can somebody please tell me how in the hell did a Georgia high school playoff game in the largest classification end with a score of 61-92? What? I didn't even see that score, man. Shouts out, speaking of which, I'm glad you mentioned that. Shouts out to my Berkeley High School Stags. Yes. My high school, I think they lost 2 games. They're 8-2 right now. They win the region in the lower state of South Carolina, 4A. And the interesting thing about this is that last year, I think we won 3 games, and we had an idiotic guy coaching the team for the last couple of years, and he had seen, let me speak correctly, he had seen the story on ESPN where this coach wasn't punting the football. And so last year, this guy comes in there with this stupid-ass idea, and we were going for it like 3rd and 20 on our own 15-yard. Game after game after game. And we lost games last year where we got scored like 70-something, to nothing, or 70-something to like 14 or something like that. So it was a traumatic year for Berkeley Stags football in the big city of Monks Corner, South Carolina. But in one year, we bring in a new coach. He revamps everything, and it's back to the Stags being the Stags. Shouts out to the Berkeley Stags. From Jay Clyde, there was a playoff game in Mississippi that ended with a score of 98-18. It was a Class 1A. Yeah, but Andre Elam's, team that he just talked about, he says was one of the highest divisions in Georgia. I think Georgia got 6A, or Georgia might even have 7A, something crazy like that. From Grego, he also saying it will be a 4-foot fence versus a wall. Yeah, he's already backing off with some of these campaign promises. When they talk about Obamacare, yeah, I'm going to repeal Obamacare, but we're going to keep a lot of the way it is right now. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to build a wall, but the wall is actually not going to be 50 feet high. It's going to be 3 feet high. That's not a wall. Shut up. Biggest con game in the history of the world. Biggest con job in the history of the world, man, this Donald Trump thing. Every time I start thinking about it, I'm going to try not to laugh. A couple times this weekend, man, you'll listen to the Doug Stewart Show. I'd be driving or I'd just sitting there watching TV, and it just dawned on me that we elected to be president of the United States a man that has no political, no diplomatic, and no military experience to run the free world. Think about that. Think about that. In a technically advanced country, there's a lot of smart people over here in America. We went out in a majority, based on the Electoral College, we went out and we voted an imbecile to be president, and he's got no experience in nothing. You gotta be kidding me. The man has no experience. He's not qualified. You elected somebody who's not qualified to lead the country. Are you kidding me? Wow. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. You gotta be kidding me. You elected a man that has no experience in public office, in running anything. Nothing. He just pandered to the idiots in this country and they voted him in. They made it happen. The man has no experience. From Jay Fish to Microwave, Doug still hasn't gotten over it. I still haven't gotten over it. You're probably right. You're probably right, man. I still haven't totally gotten over it. I say that I've gotten over it, man, but it's hard to get over something like what happened last week. I'm sorry. I just can't just totally cut off, my mind and my feelings about what we saw happen in this country last week. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. I need to move on, but there's a lot of ramifications for voting in an imbecile as president that I got to think about for the future. From Sydney Jackson in the chat room on Spreaker.com. Big L, my mother-in-law has it. She had really bad cancer, and if not the Obamacare, she might not be here. Since it was considered pre-existing conditions, no company would want to insure her. Yeah, it's just not that simple just to repeal Obamacare, because this is this issue that the rich and the wealthy and the well-to-do had such a problem with. It's just not that easy. People's lives are going to be affected. I saw a guy on an interview last night talking about the intricacies of health care and Obamacare and why it's just not that simple with the platform Donald Trump preached about on his campaign. It's just not that simple. Lives are going to be affected, okay? And you're talking about one of the smartest presidents. Obama, on paper, was one of the more intelligent, more accomplished, more educated presidents that this country has ever seen, okay? And then Donald Trump comes in here. We literally and figuratively go from classy to ashy-ass knees. We go from classy to ashy. We do. In one vote. In one dark, dark night. We go from the penthouse to the outhouse. Listen, man. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. The man has no experience in politics. All right, I got to go to a break. Entertainment coming up next. We're going to talk college football, I promise. Don't go away.
The sleeper pick, the guy only you believe in. In 1 week fantasy football on DraftKings, he can be the difference. So trust your gut. Trust your numbers. Trust your Uncle Vito if you want. But know this, that sleeper is out there. The question is, who's going to play him? This is DraftKings. Welcome to the big time.
To create your account, Click on the banner link on the DougStewartShow.com or the Doug Stewart Show app. Do you have your own